Way down south in the state of Florida, a little ball rolls down the lane, knocking down pins in her way. Today, we are lucky enough to watch the best of the best, as a colorful cast of characters come together and take aim on the top prize. All of them ready for action. Well, best I let them introduce themselves.
They call me the Duke.
Rash.
The Kid.
I'm Tack.
The Shark. I am the real deal.
They call me Lefty.
The Dude. Well, actually, they call me Belmonte.
I take comfort in knowing these guys are out there, taking it easy for all us sinners. Shush. I sure hope you folks enjoy yourselves. The PBA on Fox starts right now.
The world's best 8 bowlers are set to close the books on the historic first season of the PBA on Fox. Welcome to the world-renowned Kegel Training Center, the host site for this year's PBA Clash. Top 8 money winners from the 2019 campaign are here in that 8 slot. The ageless one, Norm Duke, and then your top 3 candidates for Player of the Year, Anthony Simonsen, Jakob Butturf, and the world's #1, Jason Belmonte, all here in action. And glad you're back here with us. Rob Stone, the Hall of Famer, Randy Peterson. Just about a year ago, you and I were here for this event, kicking off the inaugural season of the PBA on Fox. Before we launch forward to the 2020 year, which is going to be even bigger and even better, we want to reflect back and kind of honor the 2019 campaign. What better way than this unique setting with the 8 best bowlers on the planet right now?
Yeah, I mean, what a season we had, Rob, with our new friends at Fox and you and I back together. But history was made throughout the entire season. And so it only makes sense to come down to this event, this season-ending event, that involves the top 8 money winners from this past season. And we have to start it all off with the #1 player on the planet, Jason Belmonte. I mean, this guy is now the winningest player in major championship history because of this season. But, you know, I think all eyes are on one guy and one guy only. Our dear friend, the Wee Iceman, just from Clermont, Florida, which is about an hour north of here, 55-year-old Norm Duke. And who can forget what he did this season, winning back-to-back stops at 55 years of age.
This is a guy who should be on the senior tour.
Yes.
Instead, he's on, as he refers to it, the kids tour. Let's take a look at the unique format, and we're going to start with the 10th frame. That's right. In round 1, each player will try to bowl a perfect 10th frame, just like Anthony Simonsen did last year. The low scores eliminated. The 7 survivors continue to battle for the 2 spots in the one-on-one $50,000 winner-take-all final match at the end of today's telecast. And to properly test our pros, we're going to throw 2 different oil patterns at them.
That's right, why not? Hey, you know what? Norm Duke won twice on dual oil patterns. He's got that tonight. Johnny Petraglia on the right lane, 37 feet in length. Billy Hardwick on the left lane at 44 feet. The players on the Petraglia pattern will play the extreme outside part of the lane. Jakob Butturf told me he likes the Billy Hardwick pattern the best.
Leading off the PBA Clash, he's 3rd on the all-time PBA Tour titles list with 40, including 7 major victories. 2-time PBA Player of the Year, Norm Duke.
He may be 55 years old, but you'd never know it watching Norm Duke on the lanes this season. The Hall of Famer captured back-to-back titles in 2019, further cementing his status as a PBA legend.
The word legend, I don't take it lightly. I appreciate it when they refer to me as such. I also know that I'm Norm. I'm just Norm. So I don't see myself as a legend, but I would if I wasn't me.
Absolutely, no question. Norm is a legend in this sport. One of a kind, and he's not done yet. Norm! Safe.
And there's that extreme outside line I was mentioning in the open. For Norm, just a little soft with the hand, not getting far enough up to the 1-3, at least that soft 2-pin.
Only the 10th frame here. Low score is eliminated. Somebody could come all the way out here to Central Florida, literally for 2 shots, maybe 3, days over.
Well, remember who that happened to last season, or last year rather at this time, EJ Tackett.
Tackett's here again. Norm cleans that one up, so he'll get at least 3 shots here. Was it winded?
Yeah.
Come on.
He's got a lot of family and friends here from Claremont, Florida.
How much is in this guy's tank?
Yeah,
still?
you know, we talked a lot about that in our interviews with him, and he says, you know, that's something that I can't answer. I just don't know.
Third shot gets them all to drop.
Yeah, made a little better shot there. So Norm keeps himself in it.
Oh. So Norm with the 20, standing by with our Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, Rob. So Norm, pretty acceptable. You got a 20. Do you think it's going to be good enough for you to advance to round 2?
Heck yeah. Yeah, in the back room I said over-under's 10. Bet it either way you want because 8 guys have to throw a mark. We're not practiced. We got 2 lane conditions. If 20 doesn't get there, I gave it my all. I'm telling you, I'm scared to death right now.
I love the confidence, though, but can we talk about the fact that how great this season has been for you at 55 years young? You are still out here kicking butt on the tour you affectionately call the Kids Tour. So how do you keep doing that?
Well, I think a lot about Tom Brady, and I think, oh, man, he's just a few years younger than you are, and then I get to see him do all those things, and I just, you know, you're as old as you feel, and I keep up with my shape, so hey, I'm ready. Let's go.
Well, we are glad that you're here, but right now you are on the bubble, so why don't you go ahead and take a seat on the couch, and then we're going to go ahead and throw it to Rob.
So the low score sits right there on, you know, I think we're going to come up with a name eventually.
You had a good one there.
Well, which one? The Low Man Lounge?
Low Man Lounge.
The No Love Seat.
No Love Seat is good.
Now, so Sean Rash, who's up next, gets something under 20. Norm is safe.
Right.
Sean goes to the Low Man Lounge.
A 14-time PBA Tour champion with 2 majors. The 2011-12 PBA Player of the Year, Sean Rash!
After a tough 2018, Rash rebounded in a big way this year to win 2 PBA titles. Oh, I still have it! The best moment of the season for Sean, helping fellow pro Matt Ogle bring home his first career title at the Mark Roth Marshall Holman PBA Doubles.
That week, bowling with Matt was just so special. A guy that doesn't want to bowl really full time, but just wants to enjoy it a little bit. Just really emotional, real touching, something I'll never forget.
Sean came out here a little early. You know what he did? He brought the wife and the 2 daughters, which means he went to where?
Disney.
Of course.
Well, listen, there's so many
You're right.
options.
You're right.
There's Universal, there's
Legoland right around the
Legoland,
corner.
there's Disney, there's Epcot.
Made a little vacation out of it. He's hoping to leave Central Florida about $50,000. Ricks her, and he gets a strike.
I'll tell you why that's so big, because if he doesn't strike on that shot, he cannot go around Norm Duke, but now he can. And he could do that only with another strike on this ball. Yep.
Strong starts are the name of the game here in the 10th frame, and then once we're done with the 10th,
right,
then we go to single ball.
Yeah, then it's just sudden death the rest of the way until we're down to 2.
Yeah, what a nice season Sean Rash has had, by the way. His 14th year on the tour.
Look out. Oh, my.
Well, Norma's going to stay. Sean is going to qualify here. 2 tour titles for Sean this season. Won the Wolf Open. Also won a doubles title in Oklahoma earlier. How fun was that one to watch, by the way?
Yeah, it was good.
Matt Ogle.
Yeah, but his win at the Wolf Open in his hometown was one of his more special victories.
So at 30 for Rash, he's safe.
Yeah. He's going to be nice to just join Norm on the. That was almost a scene like right out of Jerry Springer, right, just for a second.
He owns 7 career PBA Tour titles, Anthony Simonsen.
Simonsen is the youngest player in PBA history to own a pair of major championship titles, and he got his second early in the season, winning the 2019 Players' Championship, knocking off none other than world number 1, Jason Belmonte.
Let's go! Give me one! Let me get one!
Anytime you can beat one of the sports, probably one of the best ever to do it, it's a very special win, no matter what.
The native of Little Elm, Texas, Anthony Simonsen. Slow start to the season, but overall, he said, man, this is a really good campaign for me. Those couple wins helped him. He's been getting better as the season progressed, which is really tough for a young kid, particularly.
Yeah, he's going to curve it a little bit more. One more for him, and he's safe. Aside from the great season he had this year on the PBA Tour, making right at $160,000, let's not forget he won $100,000 in the Bolero Elite Series in New Jersey. That's quite a chunk of change for a 22-year-old. $250,000?
Yeah, it's quite a chunk of change for, I don't care what age you are. 7 total tour titles, 2 of them majors. Won the Players' Championship this year in Columbus.
Uh-oh. We could have a tie.
Well then.
He makes this. He joins Norm Duke on the
love seat.
The not love seat.
The not love seat. Well, it'll be a love seat that, look, Norm's getting it nice and warm and open for him, softening up the couch for him. We'll see if Anthony joins him.
I think my favorite you have written down there is the Sofa of Sadness.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. It's that one to go. So.
Yeah. And remember, if they end up tied, they'll have a 1-ball roll-off.
Hey, come on, get all comfy here, honey.
We did test the Sofa of Sadness. It can hold more than 2.
Yeah, up to like what, 5? Look, Norm's making room for 1 more.
Well, it could hold 8 Norm Dukes.
A 13-time PBA Tour champion with 2 major titles. The 2016 PBA Player of the Year, Tackett.
Tackett's 2019 featured a victory in the PBA Tour Finals, the 13th title of his young career, but the former Player of the Year is hungry for plenty more.
I want to be one of the greatest that has ever played the game. That's the goal. I want to win as much as possible, win Player of the Years, win major championships, and in 20 years, people will say, yep, EJ is one of the top 10 ever.
EJ well on his way to realizing that goal, as you see there, 13 titles in just 7 years for the Bluffton, Indiana native. Here's his first throw of the competition. Ooh, way wide right, but doesn't get punished. Got to take care of that 10-pin, though.
What an amazing year to be 5th in earnings with only 1 win. He's just over $170,000, but again, 2nd in average. 6 pins behind Jason Belmonte.
He's got to have this. And the little kiss.
What do you call that?
Skinny jeans were put on.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, remember last year, he was 1 and done. He got to bowl in the 10th frame, and he was out. Split in that first ball and ended up with 9 out. Now EJ Tackett needs a strike to avoid sitting on the sofa by himself. Anything less than a strike, Duke and Simonsen safe.
Oh, and a strike. So the love seat adds a 3rd. Only Sean Rash is safe. Norm, Simonsen, and EJ sitting on the sofa. Still to come, the top 4 this season are going to hit the lane, including the world's undisputed number 1, Jason Belmonte. PBA on Fox is sponsored by Go Bowling. For promotional offers, tips to improve your game, news, or to locate a bowling center near you, Log on to gobowling.com. Rob, Randy, Kimberly, welcome you back to Central Florida and our continuing coverage of the PBA Clash coming your way from the Kegel Training Center here in Lake Wales. Here's today's Columbia 300 fun facts, Randall. Did you know each of the participants in the Clash this year won at least one title, and 6 of them won multiple titles? Who won the most?
That would be Jason Belmonte, winning 4. Butturf right behind him, Belmonte with 2 majors.
What a season for Jason Belmonte.
Yeah.
We're going to see him coming up at the end of this segment. So 4 done, 4 to go. Sean Rash is the only one who's safe. He's going to advance to round 2 with that 30. Duke, Simonsen, Tackett, they are all sitting on the chair of despair right now with a 20.
Our next competitor cashed a $100,000 winner's check at the 2019 PBA playoffs, Christopher Prather.
2019 has been a breakout year for Chris Prather. Not only did he win his first career title in March, he went on to defeat Bill O'Neill in the inaugural PBA playoffs final, earning a cool 100 grand.
I could not win another title and, retire happy. So it's been a really good 2019.
That $100,000 payday he earned, what did he do with that money? Wise man, invest it in real estate. Building his house right now. Framework just started going up. Should be done in January. Here's the shark. Ooh, double wood.
May have to make some more room on the couch of discomfort.
Norm's warming
It's
up.
about the last thing I want to shoot right now.
Again, the players are all going to play the outside part of the lane on that short pattern because there's some bounce and some friction on the outside part of the lane, like a little mini bumper. But you still have to pry it off your hand properly, and that time that one did not hook enough to get back to the pocket.
No!
Guess who might be going home early?
Wow! The sofa is vacated.
Man!
You're Kris. Oh, Kris. Own it, kid.
Yeah, that's like somebody just yelled fire. Did you see how fast they bailed? Easy to do on that pattern, though. If you get the ball a little to the inside, it's going to overhook, and that's exactly what happened there.
Well, this changes the dynamic for everybody right now. 3 more to go, and you're going to see some high heat coming right down the middle of the pike.
There's a bunch of happy dudes right now.
An 11-time PBA Tour champion and U.S. Open winner, the real deal, Bill O'Neill.
Billy O started the season strong and never looked back, winning the first event of 2019, the PBA Hall of Fame Classic. After a runner-up finish in the PBA playoffs, O'Neill went on to capture his 11th career title at the Chesapeake Open in August.
To come out this year and to kind of retool my game and relearn how to bowl again, and to compete at the level that I've competed at this year, it's definitely been my best season.
I think we probably mentioned it more than once that how big of fans we are of Bill O'Neill, but there was a couple of years back where he really struggled, and what a turnaround. 3rd on the money list this year, just under 180 grand.
And he is now safe. We talked to him this week. He said, without a doubt, my best season from top to bottom. Sure, I would have liked to have capitalized on a few more of those events, but still, it was my best. He said, look, I thought I was going to have a better year.
Yeah.
I was more focused, more prepared. Thought I'd get back to making TV shows, but he didn't think it was going to be this good of a campaign. And couldn't happen to a better guy, by the way.
Absolutely. And what he did, Robbie, he just went back to what he does best. He was trying to do something that he doesn't do, trying to curve it a lot. Great shot, using urethane, by the way. And he said, you know what, I had to go back and be me.
Want me to sit there?
Trying to keep up with the Belmontes and all that power, EJ Tackett, Marshall Kent, you can get trapped and start chasing your tail trying to be somebody you're not. Pretty good start for O'Neill. Perfection in 30. He's safe and moving on.
He owns 7 career PBA Tour titles, including the 2019 USBC Masters. Jakob Butturf.
Don't judge Jakob Butturf by his unusual style. Make no mistake, this 25-year-old can bowl. His results this season speak for themselves.
2019 was the best season of my career. 3 titles, including my first ever major, multiple shows, multiple step ladders, and looking forward to even making it more successful in 2020.
Well, if not for Jason Belmonte, we'd be saying, here's your current Player of the Year leader right now. Oh my goodness, but your number 2 seed has given new life to Chris Prather.
If he makes it, he stays in. If he gets 9, he'll join Prather, and we'll have a 1-ball roll-off unless Belmonte does worse. Anything worse than 9, and Butturf will take his place in that uncomfortable seat.
He gets it!
How about that? He's going to try to slide the 2-pin over into the 610. He does it absolutely perfectly. Wow.
That is your hammer tough spare replay. That was a tough one.
Cuts the 2 over into the 610 like it was nothing. Keep it on the lane. Well, he didn't even have to keep it on the lane. He'd have gotten 10 anyway. But wow, Jakey, what a clutch split conversion that was. The 2, 4, 6, 7, 10. Amazing.
Everybody in double digits as expected, except for Chris Prather.
I made that one.
So the Shark will sit and wait for the world's number 1, Jason Belmonte, to step up.
The 4-time PBA Player of the Year is the all-time PBA Majors title leader with 11, Jason Belmonte.
After winning a record-tying 10th major title at February's PBA Tournament of Champions, Belmonte became the only player in history to capture 11 majors, bringing home the PBA World Championship to surpass legends Pete Weber and Earl Anthony.
You know, when you watch them all fall, just this flood of emotions come in, realizing you have done something that no one else in the history of your game has done, and that's win 11 majors. You know, I couldn't have written a better career and script for myself.
As we mentioned, 4 wins this season, 2 of them majors. This is one of those type of seasons that historians are going to reflect back on and say, do you remember Jason Belmonte in 2019, what he did to the field week in, week out, particularly at the biggest events on the planet? Belmo is safe. He moves on. Prather is done. And remember, Randy, back in September, Belmo, hit the pavement in a good way at the NASCAR, the Charlotte Motor Speedway with NASCAR driver Eric Almirola. The world's fastest strike. Boom! Blowing up those 10 pins at 140 miles an hour.
That's
those
sick.
four pins.
Oh, my.
How did they not disintegrate?
Right? We should have seen the shape of those pins after that one shot.
They almost did a donut over one of them, and there's the celebration between the 2.
Look at this again.
Yeah, that is destroying a rack, my friend.
That's fun. It's kind of a microcosm of what he does in the real game of bowling, right? Doesn't matter. Moving on. One other thing, folks, the players are going to now move to the left lane. The format's going to change a little bit. And
That's the joke.
we're down to 7.
That's the joke.
Good measure. Belmo cleans that one up. Chris Prather, your low man, he is eliminated.
All right, guys.
Randy, there are road trips, and then there are Belmo road trips. His epic journey to the PBA Clash and what went missing next. Back to the 2019 PBA Clash on Fox. Jason Belmonte, your #1 seed for this event, the native of Orange, New South Wales, Australia. Translation, it's tough to get to the States to bowl.
Yeah.
This is Orange. This is my hometown. So it is 2:35 in the morning. I am already exhausted, and I am not looking forward to the next 30 hours.
The first leg of Belmo's journey is by car, a 4-hour, 158-mile drive to Sydney and Kingsford Smith airports.
Alrighty, so I'm all checked in, ready to go. Just an easy flight to Los Angeles coming up.
Easy? It's a 14-hour, 7,500-mile flight to LAX where Belmo officially enters the United States.
G'day, USA. So, in Los Angeles, now we're off to catch my connecting plane to Orlando, which leaves in 4 hours. But before I do that, I have to go through immigration and customs. Hopefully they let me in.
They do, and Belmo boards his flight to Orlando, another 4.5 hours and nearly 2,200 miles. After landing in Florida and grabbing his bags, Belmo meets up with his good bud, Bill O'Neill, for the short drive here to Lake Wales.
Alrighty, so this guy, say hi, will you? Picked me up. We're on our way to Kegel now, and then my trip will be completely over. It's been a long trip, but I'm glad to be here in one piece.
Randy, you know what makes it even tougher to travel that distance?
When you forget your wallet and it's back in Australia.
How about that, right? So now things change for our pros. No more 10th frame. Like last year, we're down to the 1-ball, 1-shot portion of our competition. Each player throws just a single shot. Low man goes home again. Each player trying to be one of 2 left standing for the $50,000 winner-take-all final match. First up, Stormin Norman, 2-time PBA Player of the Year, Norm Duke.
And remember, they moved to the left lane, a different oil pattern. The Billy Hardwick, 44 feet in length. So we have 7 feet longer in oil. The players are going to change equipment. You can see Norm going from the green ball he was using to the red one. How about him? Remember what we talked about, folks. Norm Duke told us to our faces, this event is tailor-made for me to win.
That eliminates the fatigue and the stamina factor.
Less shots, right? 2 different patterns.
Sean Rash, he's been around the block as well, 37-year-old.
Again, you talked about what a nice year Sean has had.
Sure has.
His big thing was beautiful. His big thing, Rob, was quieting the naysayers and the doubters.
Now, if you haven't had a chance to catch Friday Night SmackDown here on Fox yet, now's your chance to see what all that buzz is about. It's the live primetime spectacle that has millions and millions of viewers on their feet every Friday night. The new era of Friday Night SmackDown. It is only right here on Fox. All the matches live on Fox and FS1.
Where is your picture in that promo?
I have it. Literally, it is the first picture you see on my phone that I'm showing you right now. Me and the 24/7 belt that I won a couple months ago.
Oh, Lord.
I'm a wrestling nerd.
Yes,
I
know.
I kind of dig it.
I know you love the wrestling.
And I can't tell you how cool it is to walk around the Fox Sports offices and randomly you run into a professional wrestler who's there now. 3 strikes in a row here. Nobody wants to sit there on that slum sofa. Simonsen is alive as well.
The slum sofa?
Duke, Rash, and Simonsen, all with strikes. So here's your number 5 qualifier, E.J. Tackett, former PBA Player of the Year. Tackett looks down immediately. Oh, gets a late 10 to drop. Take it, man. Take it.
High five.
Hey, you know what? Remember what happened last time? EJ was one and done. Give the kid a break.
So all of your first 4 competitors with a strike. Time now for our track technique. Is Bill O'Neill in trouble, Randy?
No, Rob. What that is the new Kegel 3D technology by Notch. And so what Alex from Kegel is doing is he's hooking up Bill O'Neill with a ton of sensors that basically picks up every movement and motion of Bill's body. So here's the 3D animation of what that looks like. And the beauty of this is that you can take one shot and then rotate this vision of Bill O'Neill and look at any part of his game, any part of his swing that you want with just one shot. It's beautiful technology.
Here is Bill O'Neill. Everybody has struck ahead of him. Anything less, and he could be done. Nothing but strikes so far.
Get out of here. That trash. Get with the trash. Get that up. If that would have run 10, I would have punched you in the face.
Well, this is Butturf's favorite lane. At least that's what he told us after warm-ups, and he needs all 10 to stay in this.
Remember,
at the couch.
Remember, he's the lone lefty. He's got essentially both lanes to himself. Oh my goodness!
Wow.
That fought gravity and won. I will never get comfortable seeing shots like that. Never.
You mean like living on the edge?
Oh, I love living on the edge, but my goodness.
How about this?
Yeah.
How about this? The #1 player on the planet.
Must strike or he's eliminated. You want pressure? You got it.
Oh my!
So guess what? Let's do it all over again.
Wow, it's like that frame never happened. Everybody strikes. They're going to stay on that same lane, and Duke's going to start all over again.
He's provided inspiration to millions out there, including these young kids on the tour, seeing this living legend continue to not only just compete, Randy, but win at the highest level. The native of Claremont, Florida, wanting the hook, not getting it. He's in trouble. He is in big trouble. The sofa of shame, once again, has Norm sitting on it.
Well, Norm's going to need some luck here. He needs one of these players to leave a big 4 Greek church. That's high. Crosses over. Little EJ Tackett style. Simonsen's playing a lot of angles, so he needs to be careful. A little wide or a little up the lane, and he could leave a nice design.
Simonsen will head to the bench. He's safe.
Wow.
He moves on. So it's still Norm Duke with the seat on the low man lounge. Bluffton, Indiana's EJ Tackett up now. 7th year on the tour, 13 tour titles, 2 of the major wins.
Oh!
And he's in the books with the 7.
Yeah.
So Norm and EJ share a seat on the love seat. And boy, Norm is happy to have some company, isn't he?
Man, I'll tell you what, EJ is Norm's best friend right now.
Well, Norm has kind of been bailed out a couple times already today.
Well, think about what just happened in front of us. I mean, in round number 2, everybody struck.
Billy O is safe.
Beautiful shot by Bill O'Neill. So you're thinking, if you're Norm Duke, you're thinking, well, everybody's locked in. You know, they're going to keep striking. I'm going to be out of here. And then all of a sudden, EJ Tackett gets one inside a target, and now he's got company.
I remember how wide left Jakob Butturf was the last time we saw him.
Man, it's like grab the wheel. I love it when you hold on to the desk here while we're calling the action.
It's funny because it's true. Oh, my goodness. All right, so Jason Belmonte, he steps up.
Uh-oh.
8 or more, and he's safe.
EJ Tackett just went to the rosin bag.
Uh-oh.
there's room for one more.
Wow! Belmo, EJ, Norm.
Look at Norm.
Are going to have to duel.
Wow.
And one of them's going to be done. Take 3 of round 2. Duke, Tackett, Belmo. Here's Norm. Blows up the rack, down to his knees. That's what you have to match now. And he wants no part of that sofa.
Well, he's not done yet, though. If Tackett and Belmonte both strike, we're going to do it again. Yes,
EJ matches Norm. And it's interesting, Jason Belmonte last year at the Clash, he was the 8th seed. And he got to go first. So he was like, you don't really have that pressure because you're kind of throwing out the first ball and you're setting the standard. He said, it's going to be really curious to see how I react to the internal pressure that's placed on me, knowing what I have to beat. And he's been there multiple times already. Must strike. And he does.
Oh, that was pure filth.
Let's do it again, Randy. Let's continue round 2. Take 4.
Oh, left. Tried to hold on, but it was left of target. Now he needs some help to join him on the not-so-comfy couch.
Strike and Tackett will be safe. Oh, late drop.
That was very interesting.
And there is company again on the chair of despair. So Belmo, a strike, and he would move on, leaving Duke and Tackett to continue to battle it out. A 9, we've got another roll-off. An 8 or less, and Belmo is eliminated. Belmo's safe.
Yeah, you kind of got the feeling that he liked that one as soon as it left his hand, and boy, that one looked like it could have knocked 20 pins down.
Round 2, part 5. Norm versus EJ.
How many lives does this guy have left? Oh no,
Now he's in deep. He's in deep.
Yeah, that takes a whole lot of pressure off of this next shot for EJ. And I think that Norm's evening is about to come to an end.
Norm looked like he was ready to have his therapy session there for a moment. Tackett, 8 or more, he moves on, and he's got it. Norm is done. One ball eliminator continues, winner return, plus Randall is an avid reader of the lane. We'll explain next. We're coming your way today from just beautiful Lake Wales, Florida, situated here in Central Florida. It's about an hour's drive from both Tampa and Orlando, and Lake Wales is the home of the Kegel Training Center, a facility that uses the latest tools and technology to help your game. It's focused on making bowlers at all levels better at the sport. Chris Chartrand, the CEO of Kegel, is here as well. Once again, serving as a wonderful host to the PBA Clash. Always good to see Chris and be at his wonderful facility. Rob Stone, Randy Peterson, back here with you. Clash has lived up to billing so far. It's been pretty entertaining here, but we're going to take a quick little moment to breathe and answer some questions. We're going to get our intelligence level up here a little bit. It's our Go Bowling Facebook page question of the week. Here it is from Bobby Hogan. Wants to know, how do you know when your ball is reading the lanes too early?
Well, Rob, it's a little tough when you don't have an extra set of eyes. If it's just yourself bowling, whether it's a tournament or league, because when the ball starts to read early, it's going to be the first 15 feet of the lane, and that's kind of hard to pick up for the player. They usually only realize down lane reaction. So the thing you look for is when you have trouble getting the ball to push, if you're right-hander, push to the right to get it to that target. Left-hander, obviously the opposite. And then also look for the way your ball's going through the pins. If you're leaving a lot of weak stuff, a lot of weak tens, the ball's probably reading too early and losing energy as it goes through the pocket.
All right, here's your round 3 coverage. It was awfully interesting. We begin. Sean Rash steps up. Sean Rash delivers 10 in the pit. Anthony Simonsen, ditto. E.J. Tackett. Messenger flies right in front of the 9, so he goes to the sofa of sadness with 9. Bill O'Neill joins him with a 9 as well. So company on the sofa. Jakob Butturf comes up. Jakob Butturf does what he's done pretty much all season, drops 10. Belmo, a strike. So it comes down to a round 3 roll-off, and Tackett taking on O'Neill. They traded not 1, not 2, but 3 sets of strikes. Tackett gets this one to deliver, so once again O'Neill has to respond with a strike of his own. Not the response he was looking for. He gets 9, and Bill O'Neill is eliminated. So 5 left as we begin round 4. Sean Rash, your number 7 qualifier. He's up first. Long wait for these guys, and look at these late drops. So he's in the books with an 8.
Yeah, it was 6. Very fortunate to get 8 here, but you're right, Rob. They waited an awful long time to get up. Remember, they also moved lanes back on the left lane now.
Anthony Simonsen, your 6th qualifier.
Crazy how they're just crossing over right now, and that's just because they've been sitting so long.
Yeah, Sean Rash, I'm guessing Sean has assumed that position on Sundays before, right? NFL's on, flicking around looking for his Broncos, his team.
I mean, anytime Sean's in that position, he thinks he's in therapy.
Right. Simonsen is safe. E.J. Tackett. I mean, he's bowling a marathon here so far. How about that strike?
That was one of the filthiest messengers I've ever seen. Pocket 7-10 standing up. Headpin goes to the sidewall and just slaps the 7 and the 10 crazy. Watch this. Went in front of the 7 and then took out the 10. That's just pure filth.
Jakob Butturf, the lefty gets them all to go.
Who was it that coined that phrase, from way downtown? From way downtown.
Marv Albert?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, from
And
way
it counts.
downtown.
So Belmo, a 9 or a strike, and he is safe.
Yeah, and Rash is done. I think, you know, the advantage of being that number 1 guy is you know exactly what you need, but he also has to wait the longest to throw a shot. Man.
Belmo moves on. Sean Rash is eliminated.
Hey, no love lost there. Those two friends. You can't call those two guys friends.
There was no
Remember
hugging
that
it
history.
out. No hugging it out on the lane there. So 4 left. Anthony Simonsen, your 6th qualifier, able to move on. Ditto for Belmo, Butturf, and Tackett. Rob, Randy, Kimberly, welcome you back to the PBA Clash, coming away from the Kegel Training Center here in Lake Wales, Florida. Here's today's Ebonite flashback. We're going to go back to last year's PBA Clash, Randy. Some of the brightest stars in the PBA on hand to participate in the first telecast of the PBA on Fox. And it came down to this man, the Englishman, Dom Barrett and Marshall Kent. They survived all those elimination rounds to get to the final match.
Marshall Kent survived with a couple key Brooklyns. He got very fortunate, but at the end, it was Marshall Kent who prevailed 218 to 215 to claim the $25,000 prize.
Who's going to take home the $50,000 prize this year? We doubled things up. Winner take all.
I mean, that's not a way to spend an evening with some buddies. You're out there throwing some shots, and hey,
go home with 50K.
Go home with 50,000.
So we're trying to get down to our final two, and Simonsen leaves the 10-pin.
A little late coming around the corner, and he leaves that soft 10. He'll go over and sit down and wait for some company.
Round 5, Simonsen starts with the 9. Tackett is in the midst of bowling his 6th or 7th game today. I can't remember, right? I mean,
well, yeah.
Gosh.
And he's working on a 6-bagger on this right leg.
How about that? Tackett will move on.
Yeah. So much talent. You know, he's got 13 career titles, Rob. That's how many I finished my career with, and he's only 27.
He has great things.
EJ.
Still ahead of him.
As long as he stays healthy, EJ Tackett's going to win a boatload of tournaments. So is this guy.
Yeah, 7 tour titles. Butturf gets all 10 to drop.
Anytime a player puts his hands behind his back like that, that's like surrendering.
Yep.
Please, I need some help.
Naughty boy.
Watch this. Oh, that's on the 1 board. Amazing what he does with his wrist. I'd like to see a 3D image of him. The way he rolls that wrist up underneath that bowling ball.
9, we've got a roll off. Less than 9, Belmo eliminated a strike, he moves on. Left the 7, we've got a roll off.
Unlucky. And isn't it kind of ironic that the roll off's going to come down to the two-handers? This is unlucky though. Watch this. Absolutely destroys the rack, and pins just fly around the 7. Yeah, he can't believe it. I don't do a very good Australian accent, but if I did, I would have said something like, "Do you not know who I am, mate?"
It's about right. It's about what he would say.
Right?
The audacity of you,
right?
Pin.
What the nerve?
Do you know who I am?
I'm kind of a big deal around here.
I'm the chief executive officer of the Belmo Empire. Simonsen gets all 10. And Belmo will step up knowing he needs to match that strike.
Pressure now back on Belmonte. And traditionally, he has not liked the shorter patterns as well as the longer patterns. That's why you see him going with the urethane bowling ball. Simonson's using reactive resin. But Belmonte's learned over the years how to manage his game well enough to win on the shorter patterns.
Must strike or he's done. We roll on.
What? Another roll-off? I'm having a birthday soon.
The holidays are right around the corner at this pace, right? The interesting number about this young man, Anthony Simonsen, 22, as in he's only 22 years old. Watch out for this guy. If I'm buying stock in somebody on the PBA Tour, I'm saying, what can I get Simonsen for right now? And give me 100 shares of it.
It's 22 with the maturity of a 40-year-old, and that's kind of a scary thing.
But if you're looking for stock on the PBA Tour, this is the guy that Berkshire Hathaway recommends, Jason Belmonte, your #1 qualifier. Goes Brooklyn. Done.
Yeah, it looked like inside off his hand the entire way, and Jason Belmonte will not be very happy with that shot.
done. He's standing by with Kimberly.
Thanks, Rob. So, Jason, that did not end the way that you wanted it to, but let's talk about how amazing your season has been thus far. 11 majors. No one has ever done it except you. You made 9 television shows, so how would you describe the season so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's been brilliant. You know, I work so hard, so it's so nice to see the results come with it, but you have to work hard. These guys are absolutely incredible on the lanes. I always feel like as soon as I'm complacent or don't work hard, they catch you and pass you. So it really is a credit to the fellas out here that, you know, we all are doing what we can to be the best, and we keep pushing each other.
Yes, you guys do. Thank you so much for your time.
Peace.
Well, we continue the Belmo theme as we encourage you to head on over to PBA.com to check out the new PBA Pro Bowling video game with Jason just demonstrates right there, got a strike. The game features the top pros, real equipment, authentic oil patterns, more than 100 tournaments and online play, plus some expert commentary.
I was just going to say, the expert commentary is my favorite part.
The game now available for the Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and for your PC. All you need to do is check out PBA.com for more details, and you can start playing today.
You did a great job on that game, by the way.
Almost as good as you did.
No, way better. Simonsen, last time on this left lane now, as the players will move to the left lane, went high and only got bailed out by Sean Rash.
One will be eliminated, 2 move on to the final. We begin round 6 with your 6th qualifier, Anthony Simonsen.
That needs help.
He is in trouble. Rut row, a 7.
Yeah. See just how much deeper he's playing on that lane, and he didn't get it far enough to the right and went right through the schnoz.
Here comes E.J. Tackett. He's been El Gato here today. The cat with 9 lives. How many times has he been eliminated and then brought back to life?
Oh, that's so good. So is that.
Tackett will definitely move on.
He actually gave that one a little airtime, a little loft to delay the hook. Remember, we said it earlier that the left lane was Jakob Butturf's favorite lane. He said so.
Needs an 8 or better. There's some guys out here who take their spare ball and just whale it down the middle. Jakob instead dances with the devil and gets away with the 9, and he moves on to our championship match. Up next, we're going to find out who's going to walk out of here with a $50,000 paycheck. Will it be your number 2 qualifier, Jakob Butturf, or your number 5 qualifier, that man, E.J. Tackett?
It appears this story's in need of an ending. What began with a cast of characters has trickled down to 2. Two of the best, Tackett and Butturf, mano a mano. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see how this one unfolds.
Back here with you on Fox, our continuing coverage of the PBA Clash. We are down to 2. E.J. Tackett set to take on Jakob Butturf. Rob Stone, PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson, soon to be Hall of Famer Jason Belmonte, the number 1 seed for this event, the number 1 player on the planet right now, just eliminated. So now you have to turn from bowler into bowling analyst, my friend. How do you see this final match taking place?
It's going to be interesting. I think Jakob probably has a more consistent line to the pocket, but I think EJ has the higher strike percentage potential. So I think if I were a betting man, I'd probably put a little on EJ just because I think he's carrying very well when he gets to the pocket. He's struck a lot so far, and I think that potentially his score can be higher.
I think the thing to look for in this match is all on Jakob Butturf. And what I mean specifically by that is if he starts to leave flat 7s, that's the first sign for me that the urethane bowling ball and the lefty is going to struggle throwing strikes. E.J. Tackett's not going to have trouble with pin carry. So that's going to be the telling sign for me.
Again, Jakob, the lone lefty throughout this entire event. He's had that left side to himself all day long. As we take a look at the tail of the tape between these two, 20 career titles, one between them, 4 of them this season alone. You see the average rank number 2 and 3 on the tour behind the guy who's joining us in the booth right now, Jason Belmonte. So the 2016 PBA Player of the Year will start us off here. $50,000 on the line in this winner-take-all final match. That went from a 7 to a 9 quickly.
And that's probably the biggest difference between Jakob and EJ, is that on the right side part of the lane there has been a lot more traffic. EJ will see so much more transition, but I still think if EJ can get to the pocket, his ball strikes more than Jakob.
Screams that one down lane, cleans that up. He has a spare in the first. Again, this is a traditional 10-frame match here. $50,000 winner take all. Your number 2 qualifier from Tempe, Arizona, Jakob Butturf, up again, the lone lefty at this event.
And keep in mind, for those of you just joining us, dual oil patterns.
Again, there it is. I knew it was going to bite him, Randy. I knew it was going to bite him.
And I thought that would be the last thing that would happen. These players are so good. They're so used to playing that extreme outside line that you never expect this.
Yeah, well, it's hard to have a consistent ball reaction if it doesn't actually stay on the lane. I would bet a lot of money this one does not fall in the gutter. And I'm expecting to strike for a spare.
Look, if you're going to throw a gutter ball, you're doing the first
baby.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 9 spare, right?
Yeah, the scores are still tied, even though, he threw it in the gutter. But, what we just saw in the second shot is probably what we expect Jakob to do more often. That very controlled shape towards the pocket. It's not necessarily going to blow the pins away, but it's going to be consistent in that area.
3 tour titles for Jakob this season, one of them a major. How do you describe the campaign that Jakob has had this year?
Yeah, look, Jakob has had a career year. He has bowled incredibly well across the season. He's also one of the 2 players that I kind of think, once they get dialed in, can strike more than any other player in the world, and that's Jakob Butturf and Jesper Svensson. Those 2 guys, when they have it, boy, do they strike a lot. And he's had enough this year.
Why is that?
I just think it's their natural ability, the ball roll. They're natural strikers. They don't get afraid to throw lots of strikes. They don't start thinking, oh, I've got a bit of a string going here, or I've got a lot of strikes already. It doesn't bother them. They just keep going, where most of us are kind of like excited. Well, we've got a lot of strikes going here, and it kind of plays with us a little bit.
So here's Tackett to close out the second. Little Brooklyn activity there.
A little rough the first couple of shots.
I didn't want to throw in the gutter, Butters.
PBA Commissioner Tom Clark in attendance, as well as Coley Edison, the new PBA CEO. Great to have Coley around. Boy, she has really embraced the PBA.
Yeah, and let me tell you, from the players' perspective, we are extremely excited about Bolaro and the acquisition of the PBA. They are more committed to competitive bowling than they've ever been in their lives, and I think the purchase of the PBA is proven.
Back-to-back jacks for El Gato, EJ Tackett.
Double for Tackett, he takes an 11-pin lead.
Butturf in the third, gets them all to go. Every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, they go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics, undisputed with Skip and Shannon and my good friend Jenny Taft. Weekdays, 9:30 to noon Eastern, only on FS1 and available on the Fox Sports app. By the way, every PBA event also available on the Fox Sports app. We start the fourth. Jakob down 11, gets all 10 to go.
What's interesting is that Jakob told us that his favorite lane was the left lane, and we've seen E.J. Tackett string a bunch of strikes on the right lane. So I don't think there's an advantage going to the 10th frame, Jason, in terms of the players finishing on the lanes. They're going to finish on the lanes they like the best.
Yeah, and Jakob will prefer that left lane because he can throw it a little bit further straighter at the front of the pocket. EJ is going to like the right lane because he can give the pocket away a little more.
Yeah.
So, coming down the 10th, there will be no excuses. As you said, they both will be able to do exactly what they want to do.
3 in a row for Tackett. He can max out with the 290. Jakob, best he can do a 279 as we begin the 5th.
Tackett in full send mode on the right lane. But what happens, Jason, when you get it too far to the right on the left lane for the right-hander?
Well, it depends how quick he throws it. If he throws it his normal speed, it's not going to come back enough.
Didn't like it.
And see, that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. The player knows that they can't get it too far to the right for fear of washing out, correct?
Well, and
so they end up grabbing it and pulling it left.
Because as the right-handers are forced to move further and further left, our launch angles, we have to open up a little bit more, otherwise we're going to see that early friction. So he's moving further and further left, which means as he gets the ball down the lane, his room down the lane shrinks, because if he gets it a little further to the right of that spot, he's too far left for the
Tremendous pickup
to hook back.
His second spare there on the left lane again. El Gato, meow, surviving the 5th frame.
Do you notice a little backup ball action on that shot there? He's been doing that for the last couple of years now, throwing a little bit of a backup, meaning reverse rotation at that 3-10, 3-6-10, 3-6-9-10 combos. Wow.
Well, you're predicting it here, Randy. That 7-pin is falling, but it's really not falling convincingly.
The last two have been slow, right?
And he left the 7-pin in the second frame. So, like I said, I think Jakob, he's going to make an adjustment. Normally those pins don't fall over. He stays behind in the match. But now I think there's an adjustment made, and we'll see what happens.
Gets the strike there in the 6th. Remember, his first shot here in the championship match found the gutter. Jakob sorting things out as he and E.J. Tackett battle for $50,000, the final, when we return. PBA on Fox is sponsored by Go Bowling. For promotional offers, tips to improve your game, news, or to locate a bowling center near you, log on to gobowling.com. Legoland right around the corner from our location here at Kegel. So, when it came time to create the trophy for the PBA Clash, right, play to your strengths, play to your environment. Yeah, a trophy made of Legos. I am 100% in favor of this trophy, but scared silly when I had to pick it up. So EJ up now to close out the 6th. He's on that right lane. It's been nothing but strikes for him over there, but on the left, spare, strike, spare. He's got to sort out the left, but he's on his happy place, his happy lane right now, the right lane. Down 11, working on a spare. Gets out 10. Again on that right lane.
Jason, that's the lane he's going to finish the match on, but he's still waiting for an a Jakob Butturf 7-pin. Hasn't got that yet.
No, and Jakob seems to have made an adjustment, so we may not see one. But what EJ has to do is he has to get comfortable on this left lane again. That last shot, he overhit it, he missed it left, he left the 310. This shot, for him to win the match, he has to find comfort right now.
What's the move for him?
I think he's got to get his hand behind the ball a little more, keep it more in front of him. Just like that.
Gets the 10 to drop. Back-to-back jacks for Tackett.
Well, you heard the best bowler on the planet say what he needed to do, and he did just that. And because of it, he kicks that late 10 out and Now it's just a one-pin match for $50,000.
Jakob has been dialed in as of late, looking for his 5th straight strike, and he gets it.
Hey, Rob, that was in that same zone that you loved.
Not so much. Heart palpitations when he's throwing today. I'm going to give you a quick look at what's to come next season on the Go Bowling PBA Tour here on Fox. Early February, the TOC. The US Open, the first time it's ever been on Fox, coming your way later the month. The USBC Masters, late March, and the semis and the final of the PBA playoffs coming your way in the middle of May. You can max out with a 2.79.
Right now, if you're EJ Tackett, Jason Belmonte, your mindset has to be, I can't miss.
Yeah, it's got to be all 10 both shots. He's got to make Jakob step up in the 9th and 10th and shut him out. And anything less, the way that Jakob's ball's going through the pins after his slight adjustment, it's going to be really difficult.
For Tackett. Had to have that here in the 8th.
But that's why he likes that right lane. The ball got a little further right at the break point, being the shorter of the two patterns. It still made its way back to the pocket.
He's only 50% striking on this left lane. There you go. Again, it's just that trap zone where he knows he can't get it too far to the right.
And there's just been so much traffic on the right side of the lane that if it hits a little bit of friction, it's going to overhook. Not completely out of it though. Needs to make the spare, and then there's still a bit of room for error for Jakob.
And I remind you, Jakob has found gutter already here in the championship match.
Do you think that's going to happen again?
I don't. Not at all. Another spare conversion from Tackett, so he remains clean.
Rob, I'm going to bet the Yeezys that I'm wearing right now, another one doesn't go into the gutter.
You've become a bit of a shoe buff, my friend, I've noticed.
No, I have. I've fallen in love with the sneaker culture here in America. So you'll be seeing Yeezys and Air Force Ones and all sorts of things on my feet these days.
What about Chuck Connors?
I'll wear anything if it's cool. Put it that way, okay?
Oh boy, almost a 7-10.
Yo.
Messenger kicks out the 7 late, 10 left standing.
Yo.
Still a bit of room for EJ too.
That would have made things very interesting if that 7-pin stood up, but nonetheless, Jakob Butturf, he's really cruising right now. He just needs to keep the ball on the lane and keep it in the pocket, covering his spares.
He's got to make this spare, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Oh. What was that?
Look, Jakob has his own
That's
very
crazy.
creative system for spare
No,
shooting.
I get that, but come on. Seriously? Watch this.
Well, you've got to remember, this entire TV show format has been strikes only. So, you know, it's been a while since he's had to shoot.
I mean,
he
almost gave my partner a heart attack with that shot.
For the 5th time today.
9, spare 9 to shut out Tackett.
There's a strike.
That'll be it.
No week 7 for Butturf in this title match, and he's bowled brilliantly. He overcame the jitters and throwing that ball, that first shot in the gutter, and he's never looked back. EJ Tackett, with his struggles on the left lane, will prove the difference in this match.
Randy, without the man sitting between us right now, Jason Belmonte, would Jakob Butturf be your player of the year?
Oh, yeah.
Jake?
Jakey's $50,000 richer, and you can add that to the $185,000 he's already made this season.
Another big payday for Butturf.
Not to mention, he's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. He's a nice young man, going through a lot in his life.
Yep, the first person Jakob needs to say thank you to is Colby Edison from Bolaro. She pumped up the prize funds this week. We're incredibly grateful. And I'm really grateful on behalf of all the players for the Fox coverage that we've had this year. Thank you very much, Fox. It's been absolutely awesome. more millions of people have watched us this season than any other season in our history.
It has been an
We're
absolute
awesome.
pleasure to not
We're
only cover
excited.
the league, but to cover you this season. What you've been able to do with those 4 titles so far, 2 of them majors, setting the new mark for most majors ever in PBA. For Randy and I to be part of that, it was beyond awesome. And I know you enjoyed it, so we enjoyed it as well, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Can't take anything away from Jakob Butturf, I'll tell you that. Amazing what that
Thank
kid
you.
can do.
Good job, bud.
Jakob lifts the Legos. He is your winner, the 2019 PBA Clash.
Jakob, very excited for you today. So can we talk about the fact that you started off with this match with a gutter ball and somehow you bounced back? How'd you do that?
My best look is literally throwing it to the gutter, and you know, when you're on the top of the level, you just got to take risk, and that was the one thing I know I needed to do, and if I executed well, it was a strike every time.
All right, well, congratulations on winning the PBA Clash and $50,000.
Oh, he told us plain and simple, this is the best season of my career, and that season just got a little bit better. Norm Duke has had a wonderful year. Ditto for Sean Rash. Cannot wait to see what those guys deliver next season, which kicks off with the PBA Hall of Fame Classic January 19th on FS1, part of the Hall of Fame ceremonies where our good friend Tommy Jones will be inducted into the PBA Hall of Fame. But it's Jakob Butturf, your winner here at the 2019 PBA Clash. Jakob closes out the first year of the PBA on Fox with a cool $50,000 payday.